Oh, look at this!
God!
Jackhammer!
Jackhammer!
SHW. This is our wrestling.
Unbelievable!
You think you could walk all over me, but I don't see that happening. We're warriors.
Welcome to the SHW21 pre-show.
One shot is all Joe Black needed to become the SHW champion.
Spear to Hanson! But look, he never dropped his spear. Ooh.
You get a moonsault, and you get a moonsault, and you get a moonsault.
Would you look at the size of this damn hawk?
Wow.
This crowd is going ballistic. This is insane.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling, Brandon Benefield and Gerard Bonner.
Hey, we are live. It's me, B-Double Brandon Benefield, and GB Gerard Bonner for SHW21. This is your pre-show, and GB, are you excited or what?
I am incredibly excited. Tonight's the night. These nights can't get here fast enough. And with the way this card is stacked, I promise you tonight's going to be a night the world is going to be talking about.
It is 7:01. So doors just opened at 7 o'clock on the dot, and the crowd is pouring in here as they always do for SHW action.
Yes.
And we have 8 great matches lined up tonight, and right here on the pre-show, we're going to give you a quick rundown. I do want to throw this out there, GB, that since we talked to the fans last week on last week's podcast, SHW, This Is Our Wrestling, of course, we were joined by Diana Michelle and Susie Quinn.
Yes.
And we did a rundown of the card then.
We did.
However, in a span of 7 days, we've had a little bit of shuffling going on, haven't we?
Well, it's the story of 2020, right? Like, anything can happen on any given day.
Right.
And so certainly a lot of changes have happened in the last 7 days to SHW21. And I promise you, the changes are kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And dare I say historic. And we're going to talk about them starting right now.
That's right. So one of those changes was William Huckabee was set to face Ben Buchanan.
Yes.
Something came up. Ben couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Huck was left without an opponent. So what did he do? He went on social media. He set up the Can You Whoop Me Challenge.
Yes. Which I think we thought was going to be this open challenge that would happen right here where we would perhaps find somebody to answer the challenge. But that's not exactly what happened.
No, actually on social media there were people like, oh, I know exactly who will answer this challenge.
Right.
And that man was Trevor Eon. Yeah. But we're going to get to that in a second. What I want to tee up real quick is on last week's episode of the podcast, we didn't actually talk about Huck on the show, but we chatted about him off air a little bit with the ladies, and we're going to show you a little bit of that conversation. And this was before we knew who his opponent was going to be here tonight. So here's a little bit of that conversation. Check it out.
There's a still frame that I believe I sent you. Maybe I should share it on the SHW podcast Instagram because Susie, a lot of people don't give Susie enough credit because she makes some very great facial reactions while she's doing her interviews. And there's just a really good one from, I think it was pre-pandemic, so it's been a while back, but it was when she was interviewing Huck, and Huck was just very intense, all up in her face, and she just had a very good reaction. And I caught a freeze frame, and it's pretty funny.
He scared me a little bit, and I didn't know how to react, so I just I couldn't help it.
I, too, have also had quite a few encounters with the Incredible Huck in, different shows and stuff. And I've gotten to the point where I've had to walk away from the interview, drop the mic right then and be like, I am done with this interview. I'm not talking to him anymore because he is very intimidating.
I want us to note something very interesting about 2020. 2020 has not seen one single win for William Huckabee in SHW.
No.
Not one. Including the fact that pre-pandemic, of course, there was the loss of Joe Black, but then there was a loss to another SHW newcomer, Devin Dixon.
That's right.
None of us thought was going to happen. There's been such a losing streak for Huck that, before the pandemic, he was contemplating what he would do. Now he's probably still contemplating what he would do. And I think it's a must win for Huck. It's a must win for Huck. For Huck, if he wins this, I could see Huck trying to make a case to head back to Joe Black for the SHW championship if Joe Black, retains post this event.
Yeah, Huck has had this losing streak, right? And he's also a veteran, Diana, like you said. And that means he knows every trick in the book. And like you said, this is a must-win for him. And I think he's going to use whatever it takes to win this match. I don't think he is going to leave SHW21 a loser. I think he's going to win this match.
All right, we are back here live in the Action Building. Of course, that was a little bit of our off-air conversation from last week, talking about Huck and his upcoming match. We weren't sure who he was going to face once Ben Buchanan wasn't able to make it.
Right.
Shortly after we had that conversation, we did find out that Trevor Aon definitely stepped up to the plate, wanted to accept the Can You Whoop Me challenge.
Yeah.
And you heard me there say that I thought Huckabee was going to win this match tonight. But now that I know that Trevor Aon is his opponent, I might be changing my tune a little bit because we're talking about the big bat, the original Gothic gangster, Trevor Aon.
It is not coincidental, and it is not lost on me that on Friday the 13th, a guy like Trevor Aon steps up to challenge Huck. This is a guy who considers himself a demon. This is a guy who is just not of this world. He's not your normal cat. And yes, he's been here in SHW before, but as we said, a lot can happen in a year. And he's gone through an amazing transformation that, quite frankly, makes us even nervous about this match with him and Huck. So I don't know what's going to happen, but, we start talking about matches that could steal the show tonight. This could be one because, of the unpredictable nature of both of these guys.
Right.
We've seen what Huck will do.
Yeah.
And as I said before, Huck hasn't won a match all year in SHW.
Yeah.
So, I almost feel bad for whoever answers the challenge, but this guy, what do you have to lose if you call yourself a demon?
Yeah. No kidding. And it's been a while. It's been nearly a year since we've seen Trevor here at SHW.
Yeah.
And, I know we said it on the podcast last week, or off air last week when we were talking about this, but Huck's not going to let anybody come in here and try to make a name for themselves off of Huckabee.
Absolutely.
However, Trevor's kind of made a name for himself already throughout the Southeast.
He has.
And I don't know. It's going to be an insane match.
It is.
I'm just looking forward to it. I don't know if Trevor can whoop him.
I don't know, but
I think he might.
He might have a better chance on a day like Friday the 13th.
That's a great point. You got a demon here on Friday the 13th.
Listen, I'm one who has triskaidekaphobia. Trust me, I'm not a fan of Friday the 13th. So this is going to be a very interesting night.
Yeah, and I don't like scary movies myself.
I don't either.
Anyways, who knows what's going to happen? But that's only one of 8 crazy matches we got coming up. Let's talk about a match that kind of got set up last month where we had a guest referee. Named Hold My Beer Hansen. He was a referee for Jordan Kingsley and Chip Day, and that match ended in some sort of controversy.
It did.
Why don't you tell the fans how that ended?
Yeah, so again, we were surprised by the nature of Hold My Beer Hansen and his ability to referee a match. He did a great job up until right at the end.
It kind of surprised us.
It shocked us.
He was pretty good throughout the whole match. He was pretty solid.
It shocked us, and then you get to the 3 count, and he missed Kingsley's foot on the rope. And counted to 3, very controversial call. Needless to say, Jordan Kingsley, Logan Chase were not happy people. They attacked Hold My Beer Hansen, made the challenge. The challenge is accepted. And so tonight, for the first time ever, Hold My Beer Hansen is actually in a one-on-one match here in SHW. This should be very, very interesting. Against a Jordan Kingsley, by the way, who, as we know when he came on the podcast, he had a lot to say about SHW, about Hold My Beer Hansen, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder for sure.
Exactly, and much like we said that Huckabee wasn't going to let anybody come in here and make a name for themselves at their expense, I think the same thing for Jordan Kingsley. He's not going to let Hansen come here from all the way from South Georgia and come up here to SHW.
That's right.
And, Kingsley's an SHW original.
That's right.
He was here since day one.
That's right.
He was the very first match in SHW, won the very first match.
That's right.
Match in SHW.
Absolutely.
Was part of a tag team that vied for the very first, the inaugural tag team championship.
That's right.
So he has been around the block a few times here in SHW, and he's not going to let anybody come in here and try to make a name for themselves at his expense.
Yeah, we're seeing an aggression from Jordan Kingsley, even on social media, that we have not seen as of yet. So I think this is going to be interesting to see. Meanwhile, you got Hold My Beer Hansen, who, again, all over the Southeast has made a name for himself and arguably ran the best campaign any wrestler has done to get onto an SHW show, being on part of the Rumble Jack, as we saw earlier this year. So this is going to be interesting. These people are going to go crazy. They love him. I'm looking at someone wearing a Hold My Beer Hansen shirt right now. So this is going to be crazy to see what happens.
And we have our buddy Chris Marks on the chat here on the Facebook Live. Says Jordan Kingsley will hold Hansen's beer and crush it.
Yes.
We'll see. But by the way, you described it a little earlier as to what happened at last month's show, but let's take a look at that. This will give you a little bit of a refresher. What happened at our anniversary show, Still Here Too, between Hansen and Kingsley. Check it out.
Oh,
no. Man. Are you kidding
You're
me?
kidding. What?
And look at Logan Chase is about to lose his mind. His head, look how red he's turning.
Are you kidding me? And now he's back as a referee?
Look out. Oh!
But there's that quickness again.
Quick roll up. Oh, his feet on the rope.
Did he?
Yeah, Hansen caught him.
Hold My Beer Hansen has good eyes as well.
Look at heads up. Oh!
Jordan kicked. Oh, my gosh. These kicks are dangerous.
Go for the pin again. Wait. Now look at this. Chase now arguing with Hansen.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Man.
A big super kick to the back of the head, and now they're going to work on Hold My Beer Hansen.
I don't know, but I got to be honest. I don't think this is going to be the last we see of this situation.
I don't either.
And you know we're going to hear about it on social media from Logan Chase.
You know it. You know it.
Well, there you go. So, yes, Hold My Beer Hansen, first ever singles match here at SHW, taking on Jordan Kingsley, a member of the Honor Society. And while we're talking about the Honor Society, let's talk about his tag team partner, the other half of Not Yet Rated, Kevin Ryan.
Yeah.
Kevin Ryan will be back in singles action here tonight against Jordan's opponent from last month, Chimp Day.
That's right. You know, could Kevin Ryan try to do what Jordan Kingsley was unable to do last month in getting a win over Chip Day? Certainly he wants to get that done. And again, it's his first bit of singles action back in SHW since this whole pandemic situation. So it'll be very interesting to see what Kevin Ryan has to do tonight against Chip Day.
And Chip Day, of course, on a hot streak right now. I mean, he defeated AC Mack.
Sure did.
Had a great showing in the Rumble Jack.
Yeah, last three.
Then defeated, of course, Kingsley, like we just said, and looks to keep that streak going here tonight against Kevin Ryan. And who knows, I would imagine he's got SHW championship on his mind.
He has got a championship pedigree and a resume as long as a CVS receipt. Here's a guy who I can't see not being in the title picture. So to me, I think for him, it's a must-win situation so that his name gets mentioned as we start talking about the SHW championship.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting. Well, speaking of championships, let's shift a little bit because not only do we have an SHW title match coming up, we also have a SHW tag title match, but we have a Pro South Wrestling Championship match happening tonight inside the Action Building, inside an SHW ring, where the Pro South champ, Tyler Colpret, will be defending against Ace Haven. How do you feel about this one?
Well, I feel it's very special. I love history. If you don't know anything else about me, know that I love making history. Tonight we're going to make history for the first time ever, a non-SHW championship defended right here in the Action Building. Tyler Colpret's not a stranger to us here at SHW. He was a part of the Rumble Jack. We saw that, of course, but he has been tearing it up in Pro South. And so tonight, he's literally got that company hostage right now. And so to bring that title here to SHW and defend it says there could be a potential Colpret takeover that he may be trying to do all across the Southeast. Tonight, Ace Haven is going to really try to defend the honor of Pro South and win that title back from Tyler Colpret.
I cannot wait. It's just so cool to me that, I mean, we have seen the Anarchy title here before. We've seen the NGW title here before.
We have.
And it's just so cool to me that we're able to work with these other promotions.
Yes.
And they look at our promotion, they go, okay, you know what? That's where we want to be. That's where we want to defend our title.
Absolutely.
And kind of get that SHW rub, if you know what I'm saying.
Listen, everybody needs the SHW rub, and I'm not mad at it. And so I'm really excited that tonight we get to call this match. And these fans get to see what the Pro South Championship looks like. And you just never, it's so unpredictable. unpredictable around here. You just never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen, just like last month when we had the return of Very Morales, who hasn't been in SHW, I want to say, since maybe last December.
That's right.
Somewhere around there.
It was last December.
He wasn't actually booked last month, but he was here just watching the show from the front row.
Right.
And you know what? Instead of describing to you what happened, why don't we just show you? Take a look at what happened at the anniversary show between Very Morales and Ashton Starr.
What will Ashton Starr do now with another missed move from Brian Pillman Jr.? Wait, oh, no. Come
Susie
on.
again. Now he's got Susie by the hair.
Come on.
Somebody do something.
I don't like this.
Ashton's got that look in his eye. Oh, now he's just kind of...
This is sadistic. Somebody's got to fix this.
Come on.
Somebody do something about this. Wait a minute.
Wait, that's Very Morales. Very Morales is here. He just jumped the rail. And he's not going to take anything from Ashton.
It's about time somebody stood up for Susie.
Oh,
here we go.
Very Morales. Oh, big hurricane run. It takes down the Prince of Petty. Now Ashton bailing out of the ring here. Oh, heads up. Heads up.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
Very Morales is here in SHW.
So there you go. I'm so glad that Very Morales was here, and he saved the day.
Yes.
Because who knows what was going to happen there to Susie again at the hands of Ashton Starr. And again, we talked about this attitude. We talked about it last week on the show when we were previewing tonight. And we just don't know what's gotten into Ashton Starr, man, this whole new attitude.
You know, the whole new attitude, I asked the question last week, has not winning the SHW championship really impacted him this much? The scary part is this. He's actually been winning more since this change of attitude. Of course, he won his match last month against Brian Pillman Jr. New opportunities are opening up for him. We saw him on AEW Dark this week. So you've got to wonder, here's somebody who absolutely feels like the results are proof of his new attitude. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting, and I guess we should watch our backs. Ashton Starr is not a fan of ours right now.
Speak for yourself. I'm trying to. No, I'm just kidding. After what I said last week, I'm pretty sure we're
he
all in the doghouse.
He called us both out.
We're pretty sure
he
we're all.
He called us out on social media. So
we're all in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Hang on. I should have showed this before.
Oh boy. Oh boy!
After what we did on last week's show, because we were accused of stirring the pot.
Far be it from us to do that.
So look what our lovely Diana Michelle gave us.
Look at this.
Oh, you got one too.
Yeah. Look at this. How about?
She brought us some spoons so we could continue stirring the pot here on the pre-show. So thank you, Diana Michelle.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I want to say I saw one of the comments here on the chat. So, by the way, if you're watching us at home or even if you're watching us in the room here,
that's one of the best comments I've seen. You got to mention that one from Chris.
Okay,
Marks.
Well, real quick, Chris just said Gerard's hair has always been better than Ashton's hair. Ha ha ha! Now that was Chris Marks that said that, not me, not Gerard.
Good Lord!
But also, I just saw a comment a minute ago, and I should have mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
Coincidentally. Mm-hmm. Because we have the Pro South title being defended here tonight, it was 1 year ago, last November, that we had the SHW title. At the time, it was being held by Logan Creed.
That's right.
He defended it at Pro South against William Huckabee.
You were there to call the match.
I was actually there to be on the commentary table.
I remember watching that. And so it's great, again, to see the relationship that's happening between Pro South and SHW. That relationship continues tonight with the Pro South Championship on the line.
Well, let's talk about a guy who not only has been making waves in Pro South, but all over the Southeast. And, of course, he made waves here in SHW when he showed up at the Rumble Jack. This guy, a legit 7-footer, a monster of a man. I'm talking about Austin Towers. He's Towers overall.
Yes, he does.
And so then he showed up again out of nowhere last month during a match between – and this was a great match, by the way, between
match.
Owen Knight and David Ali. It looked like it was kind of the implosion of the new era. It was coming to an end there. And arguably the match of the night up until it got interrupted by Austin Towers here. And he appears to have joined up with David. Has he been saved by David Ali?
You know, it's frightening.
Is that what's going on?
I thought the salvation power of David Ali was gone. And then he fooled us all by not just saving anybody, but if you're going to save somebody, save a giant. And he saved a giant indeed, one who towers over all.
Man.
And tonight marks the in-ring debut, the SHW in-ring debut of Austin Towers against Owen Knight. And you got to think Owen Knight felt so close to getting retribution against David Ali in that match last month, only to have that completely altered by what happened there with Austin Towers. So he gets a bit of revenge, hopefully tonight, but that can't be easy. He's a 7-foot giant.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough one.
I am worried for Owen Knight. And normally, of course, we know what happened with David Ali and you, before last month's show where you got kind of caught in the crossfire, and we won't get into it because we've talked about it enough already. And you know me, I've stirred the pot enough as
Far
it is.
be it from you.
But, and so for that reason and other reasons, just because he's not a very likable person, I'm kind of pulling for Owen Knight here. But
Absolutely.
I am definitely worried for him because not only is he fighting a giant, he's fighting a giant who's got David Ali, I guess, in his corner. I'm assuming David Ali will be here for the match. We don't know that for a fact.
We don't know, but you got to think that David Ali still wants to stick it to Owen Knight, and what a great way to do it than with a 7-foot monster. And we've seen these kinds of pairings in pro wrestling before.
Yep.
We've seen Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, and we've seen when Sid Vicious was a part of the Four Horsemen. We've seen this type of situation where these big giants really do change the complexion of things. And it could happen tonight, but could Owen Knight be the giant killer? We'll find out tonight.
We will find out. Yeah. But, hey, I did see somebody posted, hold your fork and stir the pot.
Ah.
So, there you go.
Listen, you guys are onto something. I like you guys.
Hey, let's talk about our tag team champs who are coming off a crazy, amazing match last month when they took on the Legends.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Express. Ooh. Ricky and Robert were here, and, of course, the Lynch brothers were able to retain the titles.
Yes.
But no rest for the weary here. They're going to defend them once again, this time against a tag team who's been around for many, many years.
Yes.
All over the Southeast. I'm talking about the beautiful, bald besties, Zach Edwards, Michael Stevens.
It's an interesting thing. We didn't know how things were going to look for the tag team champions over time. But, first, again, they take on the Rock and Roll Express. Now they're getting ready to take on multiple-time tag team champions in the beautiful bald besties. They're former tag champions over at Southern Fried, among other places, NWA Georgia and a lot of other places. So you're talking about a highly decorated tag team. And whenever you're dealing with a team that knows how to operate in the big time, it only takes them one opportunity to go ahead and alter the way things look. So I hope that the Lynch brothers are not overlooking these guys. Yes, they're a little bit different in how they come out. They're a little eccentric. You can't quite figure out which way they're coming, but that actually makes them very dangerous because you can underestimate a team like that.
Yeah.
They're not to be underestimated. They've got too many tag titles on their resume. So it should be a very interesting match tonight to see the beautiful bald besties against the Lynch brothers.
And, like I said last time when we were talking about the, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express coming in here, I don't see Matt and Joey losing the titles to an outside team.
Well,
I don't know. It could happen.
This is the thing about the SHW. Every time you think you have it figured out, there's a curveball that comes. And the crazy part is this, I don't know that when Corey Hollis won the championship against Logan Creed in that kind of a crazy match, it seemed perfectly fit for Logan.
Yep.
But now we had a new champion from there. Like, all kinds of crazy things could happen. So it could happen. I don't know.
Right.
And it only takes 3 seconds to change that. So I think they just have to not look past these guys and make sure they're supremely focused.
Yeah.
And they could get the win.
They could, and boy, would that be something.
But what news would it be for the beautiful bald besties to come out as the new champion?
To come into SHW, a place that they have not been before. They're
Right.
making their debut here tonight. Their SHW debut.
Yeah.
Of course, we mentioned they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But, man, they're already at a disadvantage because Matt and Joey are basically, they're hometown boys here.
They are.
I mean, they're from Chattanooga, but they're basically they're the hometown team here
Absolutely.
at SHW.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
I don't know. But if the bald besties go out of here and win this match, I don't know, man.
Listen, anything
This place,
can happen.
Who knows what would happen?
Who knows?
Might start a riot in here. I don't know. But
That's right. That's
you
right.
just never know. But, hey, we have one huge championship match here tonight
my Lord.
between Joe Black and Gunnar Miller. But before we talk about it, I'm going to show you this video package here to kind of set it up.
Yeah.
Take a look at this. Joe Black and Gunnar Miller.
It's that time. I look good with gold around my waist, baby.
I think the Southern Honor crowd, they gave it the respect that I haven't got from a lot of places. They respected what I can do in ring, and they praised me for it. It just kind of rekindles the flame.
No, but look at, he turns it into Ring of Saturn.
Oh! There it is! There it is! He tapped! He tapped!
What?
He tapped!
Unbelievable! Joe Black is your new Southern Honor champion!
The reason I want to come back is because I want to prove it to myself that I can go up against the very best. Do I have a chip on my shoulder? Hell yeah, I have a chip on my shoulder. People can think that I have been given all of these things. No one gave me in this industry or on that football field or in anything that I've ever done. I have taken everything through hard work, through self-discipline, and through outworking everyone that's willing to step into my face.
I can't give anything less than my best, or I'm going to beat myself up about it for weeks. Because I realize when I look in the mirror, the reason that you are not where you need to be is because of you. There's no man in this world that can stop me from what I'm destined for. I know what I'm supposed to be in this world. I know what I am to be to this business. And the only thing keeping me from that prestigious point is me.
There's just something about me. I had that competitive drive to always finish the strongest, finish on top, and win.
Because I know people hear the word no and they think automatically something negative. It means that I can't do something. It means I must stop. But to me, no, that's been my defiance. I am defiant towards the end. I don't accept anything anyone gives me and tell me this is your life.
It would mean proving to myself exactly what I already know, that I am the #1 guy at Southern Honor.
Whew. We are back here live inside the Action Building. The crowd is flooding in here tonight for SHW21.
Yeah.
You are watching the pre-show for SHW21, and of course, that was a little video package there setting up tonight's main event championship match, a match that we didn't realize we were going to get so soon.
No.
But I think it's quickly become arguably the most anticipated SHW title match in our 2-year history.
Yeah, I think that's not an understatement at all. This is going to be a huge match, and I remember how we felt last month seeing Gunnar Miller actually make you could argue he made Logan Chase tap out, or Logan Creed tap out, or the fact that the referee stopped the match.
I was going to say, did he do something to Logan Chase backstage that I didn't know about? Who knows?
Logan Creed, that's possible. Logan Creed taps out, or really the match gets stopped, which if you just think about the concept of that.
That was unbelievable.
It was unreal. Like, we weren't sure what we were seeing. And so we knew in our head this is going to be a crazy match. But to think that it's going to happen right now, we weren't ready for that. And so I will tell you, in the entire time in preparing for this, I still can't pick a winner, because you have the incredibly hot Joe Black, who took all this time to finally get his title shot. It was a one-shot deal, won the title. But on the other hand, you have a Gunnar Miller who is undefeated in SHW. Almost a solid year, undefeated here, and he has blazed through talent like crazy. This is what he came back for, the championship. So what's going to happen? I don't know, but I tell you what, they're already calling it a potential match of the year candidate, and I don't know how this ends, but somebody's walking out here with the SHW championship tonight.
They might not even be walking out. I don't know. They might have to be carried out after these two guys. I mean, because we've seen them on social media. Yeah. These two guys are gym fanatics. Yeah. They're always in the gym. These guys are jacked. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you that we've had a little over a month to marinate on this, on the fact that Logan Creed, what happened to him in the ring? Like, I've never seen anybody do that to somebody like Logan Creed, and the fact that Gunnar Miller was able to do that to him, that's scary.
Well,
that is scary, scary stuff.
And so then that brings in these other factors. If we're just looking at their athleticism alone, it's a hard match to call.
Right.
But then if you, as you mentioned Logan Creed, remember what happened at the very end of that match where they're checking on Logan Creed and Gary Lamb hugs Gunnar Miller and gives Logan Creed the finger.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's clear that Gary Lamb is great friends with Gunnar Miller. Not saying he doesn't like Joe Black, but where does the loyalty lie? I mean, think about it. Logan Creed was the #1 guy here in SHW, clearly for quite some time.
Yeah.
And Gary Lamb all of a sudden turned his back on him.
Well,
I don't know.
Another little piece of the puzzle that I want to bring up is the fact that, and we didn't mention this earlier. We should have mentioned this, but so Lethal Poison got suspended for this show. Now let me explain why. Now what happened was at last month's show, Corey came up with a stipulation that the one-shot rule.
One shot.
Which meant he was only going to give Joe Black one shot.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Black only needed one shot.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening
Hey,
was
fans.
that
Got some cool fans back there. Love it.
what ended up happening was that Gary, in turn, said, okay, well, since you just gave Joe Black one shot,
Yeah.
you only got the one shot, so
That's
you're
right.
not going to get your rematch.
Yeah.
And well,
He
Corey,
didn't like that.
Corey wasn't too happy about that. Now they were actually scheduled. Him and Michael Judas were scheduled to have a match here tonight.
Yeah.
We didn't know there was no opponent announced at the time, but then we found out. You know what? They just didn't want to show up if he wasn't going to get a title rematch. And so Gary said, well, you know what? You're suspended for a month.
Well, and so here's the interesting part, right? And this plays right into what I was saying. Gary Lamb wielding his power against the former champion and chooses not just to give him the tag team match, but says, hey, if you don't like it, you're not on the entire card at all.
Yeah.
So he suspends him. And I'm not saying that Gary can't wield his power as general manager, but it does raise the question, will he in some way influence this title match tonight? I don't know. I hope it gets to be just man on man. But the only way to find out, of course, is to check out the show tonight. We've still got some time for you to join us here in the Action Building. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, this show is incredible. The Action Building is filling up, but we've got space for you. So hopefully make your way out here.
That's right. We've still got 30 minutes before bell time. Of course, doors have been open here for about a half hour, and the people are still coming in. And we love seeing all of our SHW family here, the SHW faithful. So, yeah, if you're sitting on the couch and you're nearby, come on out. You still got time to get here.
Yeah.
We're at the Action Building, 261 Marietta Road here in Canton, Georgia, and it's SHW. You cannot miss an SHW show. But if you can't make it live, we are on IWTV.
That's right.
And you can see us every month.
Yeah.
We post the shows IWTV. You can sign up independentwrestling.tv. Use the code SHW. You get $5.
$5
off.
free.
5
days free.
What is it? I don't know
It's
what I'm saying.
5 days free.
I'll give you $5. No, I better not say that.
It's $5.
I better not say that. Look at me. I'm just
5 days free. There, stirring it up. Stirring it up.
stirring it up. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Absolutely, but definitely.
I'm
Go
so
ahead.
flustered. I'm excited for this show.
We're excited because it's going to be an amazing night. And so I promise you, if you can get here, do so. If not, the show will be on IWTV hopefully sometime next week. We will let you know on social media. But tonight is going to be incredible. Pay attention to social media because I know the people are going to be posting, and you can only imagine what's going to happen here tonight.
You never know, and with this main event, like you said, hopefully Gary doesn't get involved. Hopefully Lethal Poison doesn't surprisingly show up and get involved.
They're not. It's not like they don't break the rules,
Right, so I don't know, but you just never. Maybe it could be somebody we don't even expect gets involved.
Who knows?
Hopefully nobody gets involved, and we just have a straight up solid wrestling match for the SHW title.
But anything can happen.
But anything can and usually does happen here in SHW. And you
someone
never know
in the comments actually called Tyler Colpret Tyler Two Belts.
That's right. You know why? Because not only is he the Pro South champion, he's also the Anarchy Television champion.
And could he, since he's in the building, consider the SHW title?
Maybe throw his hat into the...
Maybe throw his hat. Hey, listen,
Who
when you
knows?
come to... This is the thing. There's a reason why Pro South is here. There's a reason why the Anarchy folks showed up. There's a reason why Southern Fried folks showed up during the Rumble Jack, because Southern Honor is the place to be. Everybody understands that. So why not make a shot for their championship? I don't know. But what I do know is it's going to be an unpredictable night. We're here to call the action. We hope you'll join us as well.
And by the way, I was just thinking, I wanted to correct myself. I mentioned about the signing up for IWTV, and I said something about getting $5. David Ali will give you $5. So see David Ali.
He's the rich guy on AEW now.
Yeah, exactly. You see him on AEW. He's a TV star now.
He's a TV
Rich
star.
Rich Ward from Fozzy is around here somewhere, and he was saying over the PA earlier that, TV star David Ali is in the building. So,
absolutely.
Anyways, fans, we cannot wait for you guys to get out here and join us. We can't wait for the show to start here in about 27 minutes. Oh, it's going to be great. We got 8 big matches here for SHW21. That's going to do it for here on the pre-show. I have been B-Double Brandon Benefield alongside GB Gerard Bonner, and this has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.
We'll see you guys real soon.
Attention wrestling fans, join us for SHW21, Friday, November 13th at the Action Building in Canton, Georgia.
Listen to this place. The roof is coming off. This place is exploding. Joe Black is your new Southern Honor champion.
Your new Southern Honor champion, Joe Black, makes his first title defense against the People's Captain, Gunnar Miller. The Prince of Petty, Ashton Starr, takes on the returning Barry Morales.
Barry Morales is here in SHW.
The Honor Society will be in action as Kevin Ryan steps into the ring against Chip Day, and Jordan Kingsley looks to settle the score with Hold My Beer Hansen. Plus, Austin Towers makes his singles match debut when he faces Owen Knight.
That's Austin Towers. He's a legit 7-foot monster.
The SHW Tag Team Champions, the Lynch Mob, will also be in action, along with Lethal Poison, William Huckabee, and more.
You cannot miss what's happening here in Canton, Georgia.
Woo! It's Southern Honor Wrestling live, Friday, November 13th. Doors open at 7 p.m., bell time at 8. Tickets available at the door starting at 5 p.m. You do not want to miss this show. SHW, this is our wrestling.